Have you been following what top officials, a number of whom were installed over a 4-year period by this traitorous, filthy pig, Donald Trump, top officials at Department of Homeland Security, the Pentagon, Secret Service, I think it's coming clear that these top officials were involved in a massive conspiracy to overthrow the government of the United States. You know, I often wondered, why were there no troops called out when the capital of the United States was under attack? I mean, what the fuck? And the fact that nobody went to cover Trump, not Trump because he's Trump, I wouldn't cover him with anything. I mean, if I saw him under threat, I would just turn the other way and giggle. But there was no Secret Service immediate response to get him to a place where he'd be safe. Why was that? Because all of the orders for this treason against the United States came from this lousy son of a bitch, Donald Trump. Surely you understand that now. I'm not talking about the Trump Christian terrorists. They would not understand any of this stuff if it hit him in the head with the force of a fucking sledgehammer. But I don't want, none of this is addressed to them. They're beyond the pale. They're gone. They're hopeless. They're dead people walking around. They're like the Republican Party. They're zombies, which means they're dangerous. These MAGA fuckers, they are extremely dangerous. I'll get to that in a minute too. But they're dead people. That's all. Dead people. But we're learning through Carol Leoning, author and journalist at the Washington Post, we are learning the extent to which top Pentagon, Secret Service, Homeland Security officials, all installed by Trump at the time, were involved in not only participating in the organization of this treasonous attempt to overthrow the government, but then had instructions to destroy the evidence. I honestly believe that if the details, the full truth of this comes out, it's going to be clear what this filthy son of a bitch Donald Trump had in mind and what he spent 4 years organizing. Trump had no plan whatsoever to relinquish the presidency. He was going to be president for life for the rest of his useless fucking sour life. That was his plan. And I think a lot of this stuff now is coming to full view. The Department of Defense, the latest part of the federal government that deleted official phone communications relevant to what? To the investigation of what happened on January 6th, the attack on the Capitol. Nothing else. Just that. And according to the Post, well, here's the sentence. The Pentagon erased a potential trove of material related to the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol from the phones of senior defense officials in the Trump administration, according to legal filings. Defense officials in the Trump administration. I'm not talking about rank and file members of the Pentagon, Department of Defense, Homeland Security, Secret Service. No. I'm talking about the fucking traitorous dogs, the scum, the filth, the bastards that operated around Trump. And again, I will make myself perfectly clear. I think every one of them, when identified, should be dragged into the goddamn street, dragged through the streets with the big yellow dunce cap on, like the Red Guards used to do in China, right? Huh? How about that? And then put in prison for the rest of their filthy, traitorous lives. But see, I get carried away. Now, if I were to appear in a court of law and be asked to pass judgment on the scum, I might not be that insistent on severe punishment. But from where I sit here in the Daniel Scapin studio every night, to me, these son of a bitches deserve no mercy. They plotted to have people killed, and people did die, and people were killed. They plotted to overthrow the government of the United States. And it was all done under the greasy, slimy fucking oversight of Donald Trump. And every one of them should be in prison or hanged. Take your pick. So court records were published on the website of this watchdog group. It's American Oversight. You can look it up. And these records show that the Pentagon wiped the government-issued phones of senior Defense Department and Army officials, the ones who were in charge of mobilizing the National Guard to respond to the Capitol attack. In other words, the country was left, do you understand this? This country was left utterly defenseless on January 6th. Due to the machinations, the efforts of these filthy fucking traitors who were put in positions of power by the goddamn leader of this, Donald Trump. Had our adversaries around the planet known about this, and God knows we have adversaries, don't we? Had they known what Trump had done, do you realize how vulnerable this country was in that moment? There was no chain of command. Nothing. Except this orange vomitous pig, Donald Trump. That should cause every American citizen to realize how serious this whole situation was, the serious danger that Trump put us all in. But the phones of, including then acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller, remember that bastard? And then Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy? Why would their phones be wiped of all phone messages, all conversations? Huh? Come on. You know why as well as I do. Now, we are being told that this erasing was done in keeping with Defense Department and Army policy for departing employees. Horseshit. If you believe that, I have a bridge across the swamps in Florida that I'd like to interest you in. That is a fucking lie. And according to these legal filings, they say, quote, the text messages were not preserved, end quote. The Records Act, that anything that is said, written, texted, emailed during a presidential administration is supposed to be kept. And now we're supposed to be like, well, no, not really. Now, the admission from the Defense Department and these other agencies, it comes as a blow not just to the efforts of this organization, American Oversight, to dig out critical communications regarding the attack, but this also is a kneecapping effort to the January 6th Special Committee, which had asked Pentagon leaders to preserve and share all documents related to the riot. It also makes the Defense Department the latest known part of this filthy pig, Donald Trump's administration, including the Secret Service, including the Department of Homeland Security, to have deleted records that would have helped investigators piece together what happened on January 6th and this filthy bastard Donald Trump's complete involvement. A spokeswoman for American Oversight said this, quote, from the reporting about the Secret Service and the senior Department of Homeland Security officials, it becomes pretty clear that this is not just a Department of Defense problem, not just an Army problem, but multi-agency. See, this is the thing, and I heard this on MSNBC this morning. If you find out during your investigation that the records for a certain time frame were wiped out in the Defense Department, and then you find out that the records for a certain time frame in the Department of Homeland Security were wiped out, and then you find out that records for a certain time frame in the Secret Service were wiped out, then you can draw a rational, logical conclusion that there is a cover-up afoot. A cover-up of a crime against this country that exceeds anything that Dick Nixon ever thought of, anything that the incipient fascists who thought about taking over this country back in the 30s ever conceived. And here it is, right in our faces. It's my understanding that Pat Cipollone has received, what do you call it, a notice, subpoena, whatever, to appear before a grand jury. Have fun, Pat. You goddamn Nazi, fuck you. Yesterday, the American Oversight's executive director, a woman named Heather Sawyer, appealed in a letter to Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, to open an investigation, which the Department of Justice has now done, is my understanding. An investigation into, quote, Department of Defense failure to preserve the text messages of several high-ranking officials on or surrounding the day of the January 6th attack, end quote. The letter also said this, quote, the apparent deletion of records from January 6th by multiple agencies bolsters the need for a cross-agency investigation into the possible destruction of federal records, end quote. Jesus Christ. But what is happening here, and I think you are as cognizant of this as I am, what is happening here is that thanks to the January 6th committee, and yes, thanks to a great deal to Representative Liz Cheney, the cover is being peeled back a centimeter at a time to show the corruption and the filth and the rats and the decay and the worms and the filth that is Donald Trump and any fucking thing he touches, up to and including, because of the way we govern ourselves, the Department of Defense, Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, Interior Department, EPA, everything, every single fucking agency in this country in the 4 years that this orange vomit was in office has been corrupted. Everything. Are we going to survive this? I don't know. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.